So today I'll outline how we will push the government to tackle the cost of living crisis and the inequality crisis. And after that, I'd like to make a few remarks about the other crisis we face, the climate crisis, and the climate change bill currently before Parliament. Labor spent the last 3 decades and then the last 3 years adopting the same economic policies as the Coalition, going out of their way to reassure people during the election campaign that they were a small target and that there would be no real difference if the government changed. Well, people heard that message and Labor's vote went backwards. The Greens offered a straightforward proposition. Make the big corporations and billionaires pay their fair share of tax so that we can make life better for everyday people by getting dental into Medicare, making childcare free, wiping student debt and building affordable housing. This economic alternative is simple, achievable and relevant to people's everyday lives. And people responded. Because wealth inequality in Australia is the worst it has ever been. The profits share of the economy is higher than ever before, while the share going to wages is the lowest in history. There are over 3 million Australians living in poverty. Nearly 500,000 women over the age of 45 are at risk of becoming homeless. Too many young people cannot leave home because it's too tough to find an affordable place to live. Government income support forces people to live below the poverty line. Wages have flatlined before the pandemic and now working people are going backwards. Unemployment is at record lows, but that hasn't flowed into a better life for working people. Working people have more insecure work, fewer rights, and wage theft is endemic across numerous industries. The Greens would tackle the cost of living crisis by making the billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share of tax to fund better services. Because if we don't, the corporations and the billionaires are going to keep price gouging and profiteering while the rest of us struggle to access basic services like health, housing and education. The Greens are now the only party offering a social democratic alternative, and with inflation biting hard and cost of living pressures set to get worse, our plan is needed now more than ever. And it's where the Labor government's plan to dismantle our progressive tax system and adopt economic austerity policies will hurt everyday Australians unless they change tack and work with the Greens. The government needs to rethink its first budget, and we will push them to make what would be undoubtedly popular choices. Labor is proposing to make inequality worse by giving tax cuts to billionaires in its first budget. Labor's stage 3 tax cuts, which destroy our progressive taxation system, will make inequality in this country worse and turbocharge inflation. It will mean that working people in low-paid jobs are still under pressure